Okay, so now this is a short tutorial on calculating averages from graphs. So usually you already have the frequency table and that's easier. If you're calculating average from graphs, okay, you need to go, do a little bit more work, meaning you have to make your own frequency table based from the graph, okay? But before we do that, why don't we look for and calculate the easy ones again, okay? So just by looking at the graph, we can easily look for the mode. Because what is the mode? The mode is the value that comes out the most. And if you look at the graph, you will see, okay, that students who scored 0, there are 2. Students that scored 1, 4. Students that scored 2, 3. And students that scored 3 would be 3 again. So just by looking at the numbers, you can already tell that this is the mode. Okay? 1 is the mode because 4 students earned 1 mark in the test. Or visually, you can just look at the bars. This is the tallest bar. Okay, so that means that is the mode. Okay, so again, 4 students got 1, so the mode is 1 mark. Okay, I don't like the way I wrote the 1. Let me make it nicer. 1. Okay. Now the next thing that's easiest to calculate would be the range. Okay. And again, the range is the difference between the highest and the lowest mark. So the highest mark is 3 and the lowest is 0. Okay, so how do we calculate that? Highest minus lowest. Oh, sorry. Highest minus lowest. And the lowest is 0. Will give you 3. Okay, so the mode is 1. The range is 3. Okay, so now in order to calculate mean and median, we need to make a table, okay, a frequency table. So the frequency table based on the graph, okay? So let's look at it. So 0 has 2, 1 has 4, 2 has 3 students, and 3 has 3 students, okay? So test scores range from, see, there's the label test scores, 0, 1, 2, 3. How many got 0? 2. How many got 1? 4. How many got 2 marks? 3. How many got 3 marks? 3. Okay? So, what is the next step? From our previous video, you know that we need to extend our table a little bit more. Why do we need to do that? Okay, because we need to calculate other things such as, okay, we need to look at, okay, cumulative what? Cumulative frequency. Okay, cumulative frequency. So what do? We move this here, 2, and then 2 plus 4, 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Okay, so that means there are 12 students. This one is too big, so let me just move this so we have more space. Okay, and I'm going to erase this one. Oops, too big. Okay, so after cumulative frequency, what do we do next? We want to get the, do you remember? Okay, we want to get the total test scores. Okay, so we want to get the total test scores. And how do we do that? Okay, we need to multiply test scores by the number of students. Okay, so we need to multiply that. Okay, so the first one we have 0 times 2 equals 0. 1 times 4 equals 4. 2 times 3 equals 3. 2 times 3 equals 6. And lastly, 3 times 3 equals 9. Okay? So now we have total test scores. What's next? We need to get the cumulative test scores. Okay? So let's write that down. Cumulative test scores. Okay? So we have the cumulative test scores over here, and then all we have to do is to calculate it. Okay, so we move this 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. 4 plus 6 is 10. 10 plus 9 is 19. Okay, and then we close the graph and we just make it neater. Okay, so we closed the table, made it neater. So we can now calculate for what do you call this? We can now calculate for the mean. Okay, so what is the formula for mean? Mean would be equal to the cumulative test scores divided by the cumulative frequency. Okay, cumulative test scores divided by the cumulative frequency. So what is the answer? Okay, that would be 19 divided by 12, which gives you 1.58, which we can round off to 1.6. So the mean is 1.6. Okay, now let's look for the median. Now the median, you can only look for it if your numbers are in order. Okay, so how do we do the median? We can do it the long way. Okay, now as I said, the long way means you have to write down all the values. Okay, so let's look at the test scores. 2 students got 0, so 0, 0. Okay, then 4 students got 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then 3 students got 2, 2, 2, 2. And the last one, 3 students got 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so again, what are we going to do? We are going to cancel from the front and the back. So 0, see, I'm just canceling one value at a time until I can get to the center. Now, since this is an even number, okay, even number of values, then you will end up with 2 numbers in the middle. So what do? Get the mean of the 2 numbers. So it's going to be 1 plus 2 divided by 2. So 3 divided by 2 equals 1.5. So the median is 1.5. Okay? So now let's look at the long way. The short way. Okay, so this is looking for the median, the short way. Okay, so we did the long way at the other side. Okay, now let's look at the short way. We know that there are 12 values. Okay, so let's do 12 divided by 2 because we want to look for the middle, the halfway point, equals 6. Okay, so since this is an even number, that means there will be 2 middle values. Okay, and the 2 middle values will be, okay, the 2 middle values will be the 6th, okay, and the 7th value. Okay, the 6th and the 7th value. So let's look at the table here. What is the 6th and the 7th value? Let's calculate. So remember, when you're doing a table, this always must be in order. Okay, the numerical order. So let's count number of students. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 6th value is 1. And the 7th value is 2. Okay, so 1 plus 2 over 2 gives you 3 over 2 gives you 1.5. Okay, gives you 1.5 as your median. Is it correct? Let's see. Let's go to the other page. Remember, 1.5. 1.5. Oh my gosh, it's the same. Because look, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th and 7th value. Get the mean, and this is the mean. Okay, and it becomes the median between the 6th and 7th value, and we get the same one. Okay, so hopefully, if you don't really understand the shortcut, then do it the long way, because we always want to strive for accuracy. Okay, accuracy is king. Okay, so do it the long way. If you understand the short way, then do this, because as I told you in the other video, what if you have 500 values? Are you going to list down all 500 values? No, you need to learn how to do this. So if you have less values, like up to 30, yeah, you can spend the time to write down all the numbers. But this one, try to understand how to do it, okay? And as usual, I say bye-bye.